For those who don't know me, hopefully you do know me, if you're here. I did see some names on the list that I didn't know, so let's see. I know that guy. Some brief housekeeping for today. We're going to be here for the next couple hours. We're going to go over to Club DAO. Shout out to Club DAO. After, where y'all can pay for the drinks, not us. Support our brothers over there. Outside of that, it's great to have you all here for our third birthday. I will warn you, I've been an emotional wreck all freaking day. So bear with me as I'm going to struggle through some of this stuff. Done a lot of reflecting the last year and, the past 3 years actually. And it feels like just yesterday that, we launched Ohm, we launched Mantra, and we had one of our community members named Crypto Walt sending us overnighted Philly cheesesteaks to us because he was so happy with how it launched. He literally sent us 50 Philly cheesesteaks overnight to Hong Kong because he was so happy with how Ohm token went off. And it's just flown by. How much has changed, particularly in the last year since many of you were here? It's been just insane. Generally, with respect to Hong Kong, we got out of the vicious cycle of COVID and not being able to travel and having to wear masks. That was a huge difference from when we were here just 12 months ago to where we are now. Obviously, we had, maybe not the man, the myth, the legend, but SBF and what he did with the crypto industry and FTX, blowing things up for everyone and making all of our lives much harder to operate in this industry in a compliant and good fashion. You had crypto regulations across the world, from Hong Kong to the US to the UAE, where we're operating in all three jurisdictions, shifting on a day-to-day basis and trying to keep up with all that. You had macro environment changing, interest rates going up. Tokenized treasuries are the hottest product in crypto right now. God only knows why. It's not a PayPay meme coin, but it's a tokenized T-bill from the US government, but people like it for some reason. Tech company fundraising fell off a cliff. It's been quite a freaking year. Honestly, one of the hardest that I can imagine. That being said, throughout the course of this year, how much I think myself has learned from all these experiences, grown as an individual, as a leader of Mantra, as a teammate. It's really been something that I'm just really, really proud about, but at the same time, something that has not been easy. At the end of last year, myself, Will and Rodrigo being the other two co-founders who are not here, everyone give a shout out to Will and Rodrigo. We had a little bit of a meeting of the minds and we had a little bit of a realignment about what the future of this business looks like and what our positions in the company would be going forward. In the beginning of this year, I stepped into the CEO role and position. And again, like I said, it's been the hardest fucking year of my life. It's been incredibly freaking hard. That being said, I have loved every moment of it, the good and the bad. I want to thank both of them for trusting in me to take up this position, for trusting me with this business that they care so much about, and for supporting me in this endeavor. And even more than that, honestly, I want to thank them for helping me realize what I was put on this earth to do, because I know it is exactly this. It's not just building crypto, it's not just being a CEO, it's not any of that, but it is being with people like you guys, creating something bigger and hopefully more sustainable and longer lasting than anything that we're doing right now today. And that's a really powerful thing. And once you know that feeling, it honestly doesn't fucking matter anything else, because all the obstacles and all the challenges that get in your way really don't matter anymore. It seems easy because you're just on autopilot. And I really thank them for that. I got a lot of thank yous, but I do have some stuff that's a little bit more interesting than me just thanking people. I definitely have to thank my family, and particularly my wife, Sujin. Considering how much I'm working, and considering I'm spending 90% of my time here, and my other 10% of the time at home I'm thinking about work, I appreciate all the sacrifice that you have done to let me chase my dream being there through all the ups and downs, and there has been a lot. When I've been rich, when I've been poor, many times over, literally with nothing, you've been there throughout everything, and I can thank you more than anything for standing by my side. I got to thank my parents and my sister, of course, my relatives for supporting me from abroad. No matter where I'm in the world, they let me do what I do, even though they definitely have no clue what the hell I do. I want to thank our team. I want to thank the Exco, Brian, Steve, Virgil, Juan, for being there, for teaching me so many different things. It's not always easy because I know I'm a stubborn motherfucker. But I've learned so much from you guys, and I know that with you guys by my side, I can do anything. I want to thank the senior leadership team in the firm. I want to thank Pansy for literally saving my life on a day-to-day basis. Shout out to Pansy, man. I want to thank Team GSD. GSD stands for Get Shit Done. I want to thank our Australia team, the Aussies Down Under, which is our dev team. Our remote teams in Japan, Singapore, the UAE, Europe, the US, and in Latin America. Sujin might not thank them because that means that I have to work from Sydney hours until Palo Alto hours in many cases, but I do appreciate that. Obviously, our partners at Soma, Bill and Jim. One thing I think is an interesting concept from another CEO who's much more accomplished than me, and hopefully I can achieve something that he's done in the future, is the concept by Reed Hastings, who's the CEO of Netflix. And he alludes to the company as a team rather than as a family. And there's a reason for that, because you want the team to be together at all times. You want them to be a high-performance unit. You're going to have to go through thick and thin together. But in the end of the day, it is business. And treating your colleagues and your partners like family, it just doesn't work with business, right? That being said, while I think we are a high fucking performing team, I do love you guys like family, and I appreciate every single one of you for all the stuff that you do for me, for our company, and for our community. I got to do very quickly the business partners and advisors. Alessio from Hex Trust, Mark Chung, who was here from GameFi, the people who've supported us along the way, Dustin and Jay, our council members, shout out to Jay who's here, Roy from Club DAO, BCW, Kyle and Dwight. Kyle's in Singapore. VSFG, we got to thank Lawrence, Chris, and Brian for all their support. The PwC team who's out here in force tonight, over there in the corner, looking sharp. DLA, Christy and Satpal, thank you guys for coming. Mofo, where's Julia? There you go. Thomas is not here, but he sends his regards, I know that. He was actually the first person to send me a message this morning. I think that's because he's in California or something, but that was very nice of him. PKMT, Brian and Alan. Prof K and Joe, who probably don't know that I'm talking about them, but these are our day one advisors. Kunal, he was also a day one advisor, been there from the OG days, the JLL Cronuts crew, those guys over there. I know they're going to be wild later. Roy the King, Silver Fox, everyone on the 20th floor in that room who helped support us. Chase over there at the bar. Thank you guys so much for always being here and supporting us. Too many names to support. Very briefly, I also want to thank my coach, Celine. It's basically my business therapist who helps me get through a lot. Drew Margolin and John Cahill and the rest of the HK fam, Cahill from GD. And now I think that's enough for the thank you, so I want to transition to something else that's a little bit more about what the future of this business looks like. And this is not going to be a product demo, because frankly, Charu and Shane could do it a lot better than I could. But there are very, very cool products that we're building. We've been building in the Bear for the last 2.5 years plus. We have a product called Mantra Chain, which is going to be one of the first chains for regulated assets within the Cosmos ecosystem that's going to be launching later this year. We have Soma, which is a US-focused permissioned DEX and issuance platform that's literally going to be launching, I shouldn't probably say this, but next month. The people in the live stream won't care about that one. It is recording, it's live, baby. Next month. And Mantra Finance, which is aiming to be one of the first VAR licensed DeFi protocols in the whole world. But I'm not going to show you anything. Go check that shit out on our socials. You'll get a lot more information about that there. I do actually just want to talk about 3 main themes and then close it out and let you guys get back to drinking and eating and doing things that are more fun than listening to me talk. But the first one is that is just the theme of Hong Kong in general. Hong Kong is our home. When we first started, 3 years ago, I remember the first location where we were literally in a little shop house in Sheung Wan. It was myself, Will, and Rodrigo. And now we're sitting here in the Soho House in this fucking office in 3 freaking years. It's just insane. You know, I've been in Hong Kong for about 6 years now. I've spent the entirety of my livelihood in Hong Kong working in crypto in this industry through many, many ups and downs, and a lot of you guys know the intricate details of that. It was the start of my entrepreneurial journey, which has been, you know, the roller coaster of a lifetime. But something, again, I don't think I could ever live without. I would never do anything else different than this. We've met with protests and COVID and all number of different things, which have been just a challenge to overcome. And we've dealt with it. That being said, you know, Hong Kong is on the rise with respect to Web3 and crypto. They're coming out with favorable crypto regulations. The regulator is acting favorable towards platforms and applications who want to build here. But that being said, we need more action. We need more builders. Frankly, we need more people like Mantra to be building cool shit in Hong Kong. We want to be a homegrown Web3 success story in Hong Kong. And I'll be fucking damned if we don't, excuse my language, everyone who works with me knows that I have a potty mouth. If we don't list Mantra on the goddamn HKEX someday. The second theme I want to talk about, and just in general, is that we always constantly take the harder route to do stuff. It's never the easy one. We're going the licensed and regulated route as a DeFi protocol, which is literally an oxymoron in most cases. We do KYC for users, which is a point of friction for people to onboard to our platform. We're all about building trust, being transparent, and taking accountability for our actions and for our community, because when shit goes wrong, which it inevitably does, we are going to be there and we're going to stand by our community no matter what. I will be the first person to stand by our community, our team, because at the end of the day, the buck stops with me. And I appreciate the fact that, you know, blockchain obviously brings a lot of transparency to crypto actions. And, you know, when FTX was going under, it was interesting to see that actually the people on Twitter who were following the blockchain transactions saw when shit was going down much quicker than the regulators and all the other people who were trying to figure out what was happening. So blockchain obviously does bring a lot of transparency to a lot of things. But at the same time, there's still a lack of corporate transparency. I'll never forget this. You know, Virgil, shout out to Virgil. You know, one of the things that he appreciated about me in general, but just in general about the team, was we're transparent to a fault. And I wear that with a fucking badge of honor. Through thick and for thin, we're going to be transparent, just like we are with respect to the blockchain that we're building on. And finally, the third concept I want to talk about a little bit is just the idea of dealing with adversity. I feel like this year, legitimately, this is a little bit of a joke, I talked to my coach about, I feel like the universe is testing me. Because everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. We're dealing with complications in the legal realm, in the financial realm, in the compliance realm, in the product realm, in the HR realm. Every single part of the business is facing adversity, constantly, constantly, constantly. But I think this really only strengthens my determination about what we're building, the team that I'm building it with, and frankly, the partners that we're working with, and the people who are here today to support us. I have to continually bring this up, but one thing I like to talk about is we went on a team outing not too long ago in Hong Kong, and we're supposed to do team building activities on Poyo Beach in Lantau, and the warm up for that was to go hiking. We just so happened to go hiking 2 or 3 days before a typhoon, no cloud cover, 35 degrees Celsius, brutal humidity. We thought it was going to be a 2-hour hike. It was probably 3. It was supposed to be beginner. It was not. And the team nearly died. I think they all wanted to kill, well, primarily Paul Watson, but me as well after that for making them go on this thing. But the one thing that I take from that is the team building didn't happen at the beach when we were doing the team building activities that the corporate event meant us to do. The team building happened when we were dealing with adversity and getting our fucking ass over that mountain and making sure that no one was left behind. You know, honestly, if we ever do team building activities, I want to make sure there's a point of adversity that happens, just because that's when you come together as a unit and you know that you can build together and do something that's bigger than yourself. And, you know, frankly, I know that this is a team that can do that. And I just want to thank you guys all from the bottom of my heart. I couldn't do it without each and every one of you. Thank you. So now back to drinks, please. Good timing on the music.